What's up YouTube? Leon here, and we're back with more Nioh. And I have been playing this game practically non-stop since I got it. And I'm like level like 100 something. We're on level 154 right now. I already beat the base game, going into the DLC, doing a little bit of New Game Plus as well. And I want to just talk about Nioh and how I feel about it in general. So let me just jump into first let me talk about how the game is now. I think post-game is a completely different type of experience than the vanilla game. And what I mean by that is how equipment works. And when you first start out going through the game and getting close to end game, or at least beating the game, equipment kind of stays the same. It's that Diablo feel where you keep getting equipment drops, and then the higher level you are, the better the drops are. And you constantly switch out your weapons all the time. It's a lot of fun. There's a sense of progression to it. And that's one aspect I really enjoyed from Nioh, the base game. But after beating the game, you unlock these things called divine weapons. It's another rarity. They are a green color, usually. And what happens with these green rarities, they max out, or all equipment maxes out at 150. And there's like rare cases where it'll go above that, like 160 or what have you. And then after you beat New Game Plus, there's like a New Game Plus Plus. And I guess your equipment maxes out like at 3 something, like 300 something. Something ridiculous like that. But for right now, since I'm only on New Game Plus 1, all my equipment maxes out at 150. And then what happens there, you have to get other divines that have like +1 or something. And you have to soul match it with the weapon you want. And the way that progression works is that you have to get like 1 +1 with another +1 to get a +2, and so on and so forth. So like you need a +2 and another +2 to get to +3. So it's kind of like a slower progression, and you get to keep that specific weapon. So I have my Taro Tachi, it's the Odachi, +4. So I had to get, +1, +2, +3, and then +4. You can't have you can't soul match like a +1 with a +6 or something. You'll just get like a +2 out of it, depending on what weapon you're trying to upgrade. So you can't like gather like a plus, like all these +4s or something, and then make your favorite weapon or a weapon you want to be +4 already. You have to follow that chain, that really slow chain of upgrades. I wouldn't say it's too much of a problem. It's just, kind of slow, especially if the weapon you like has like no pluses on it. I've been saying too many pluses now, I'm confused. But yeah, during post-game, a lot of this stuff is about builds now, like how you build your character and stuff like that. So what I have here, I have like this Yasakani Magatama. It's a really good one because see this stat right here, set bonus requirements down -1. So to get that set bonus, let's say like I have 1 piece of this red demon armor, and it counts as 2 pieces because I have that specific skill on, which is pretty cool. So yeah, a lot of post-game is just about builds, really. It's not about just slowly progressing your character, getting better gear. It's more like with the gear you have, try to make a build out of it. So this is like the kind of build I have. It's not, it kind of loses Nioh kind of loses its progression during post game, and a lot of it is reliant on you getting those very rare drops. I think for right now they're pretty rare. It's starting to lose its charm at this point, because a lot of it you have to just keep going into here and soul matching your stuff, and you just tend to stick with that one weapon that you really enjoy. There's no more like, oh, I have to switch out to a different weapon because it's a lot more powerful or something like that. I wouldn't say it's too much of a problem. It's just kind of getting to that point where I'm like, oh, it's hard to play because I don't feel like I'm getting stronger fast enough. So as you can see, this is the DLC, second DLC. I finished the first one, and it's like level 200 already. And things are still 1 to 2 shotting me at this point. And it's a little disheartening that the game is still asking so much from you. And you actually start to feel the grind now. So I did a little bit of refashioning as well. I kind of like the knight armor. But in terms of the base game, and what the game gives you, it's freaking awesome. I still think this is one of my favorite games this year. And it's been a while since I've played a game this long. Like when I first got this game, I played it for like hours straight. Took a few breaks, but every time I wanted to play something, I would play this. There's very few times where I would play a different game. And I think for the first month, I only played Nioh. Is it still the month of the release? I forget. But yeah, I've been playing this game like non-stop. I'm finally, branching off to other games again. Went back to a little bit of Monster Hunter just because getting hyped for World and whatnot. But Nioh has been my go-to game for the past month. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It is seriously like one of the most fun I've had in a game in a long time. You get that like, it's one of those things where you get those feels, man. You get those feels you never felt in a long time in a game. I don't know if I said this before in my first video of this game, but it's like that first feeling when you first play your Souls game, and this game kind of took me back to that. It's awesome. There's so much to do in this game too. Like this game gives you so much content. But my other complaint still holds up, where they give you so much to do, but whether or not it's meaningful content, is really up to you. But it's still fun. Like I still get a kick out of this game. One of the best experiences of the year. But a lot of it is pretty repetitive, is a problem. Let's see what kind of drop I got. So yeah, I got a +1 Takahira Odachi. Oh, and they bring back the ninja dogs from Ninja Gaiden. It's like the same model and everything. Sorry if I sound a little weird. It's because it's getting cold. You know what that means? It means getting sick. Alright. Yeah, the base game for this is so good. I can easily recommend it to anyone who's looking for a challenging game with Diablo style loot drops. But then the post game, I think it caters to a lot more specific type of person. While it is really cool still, a lot of content, I just missed the progression I had with the base game. And this guy, I hate fighting this dude. Like, this is one of the enemies in the DLC I just absolutely hate fighting. It's like Team Ninja's like, how do we make a hard enemy? Give him a ton of delays. Make him real tanky too. Oh, that guy's... This is a place to set you up for traps. Yeah, well, one of the problems, I'm not sure if that's just how the DLC is made, but the DLC is really tough. Like the first section of the snow, it's like a snowy area. I don't know what the DLC is called exactly, but that DLC was tough. Like every fight, every boss fight was just like a slog. Like me doing like practically chip damage while them one-shotting me at points. You had like that centipede guy, the Date Masamune, I think is what his name is. I actually really enjoyed the centipede guy. That fight was really cool. Date Masamune, on the other hand, I think is badly designed. I think the punishment you get for certain things on that fight is ridiculous. That boss gets so much leverage off his like familiarity guy, or the little living weapon super. It's ridiculous. You just get one shot. He does this like move. It's an unblockable full screen dash. It's just completely unfair. It one-shots you like 90% of the time. And when he's in super, it just one-shots you. Like no questions asked. It's ridiculous. Then the second boss, the third boss, the third and final boss of that DLC, was the lady? I forget her name. She wasn't that bad. That boss was pretty cool too. But another problem, I think it's just me not being high enough level. Who's this guy? Is he a boss? He has so much HP. Yeah, this dude is like tanky as all hell, man. One shot me. Holy crap, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, like ridiculous difficulty. And I have like, all my gear is like plus something too. It's like plus 4 and 5. I'm getting one shot easy. This is what I'm talking about, like the grind is ridiculous in this game. Post-game grind is just, I'm not a fan of it. The game is already repetitive as it is now that I experienced a lot of it. And New Game Plus isn't that different either. It's just the same game. There's some like enemy variety in the levels, but it's practically the same thing. And this DLC is pretty relentless too. Like as much as I want to finish it without having to grind, it's becoming really hard. Yeah, the game is still like a ton of fun. It's just the grind that they expect you to do during post game is too much. It's too much to ask for the player. Like I don't mind having the option to grind. You know, this game gives you a ton of options to grind. But the thing is, when it becomes a requirement, that is a turn off. I mean, at least he gets stunned easy. Wow, look at him repair his stamina super fast. That is a buff. I don't know all the buffs in this game yet. I haven't been experimenting with them besides the one that everyone else uses. Like everyone uses the sloth. Everyone uses the defense buffs. It's like all the easy stuff. Okay. Ooh, he almost killed me. Let's cast another one of these. Kill him. Yeah. There we go. Alright, let's talk about more criticisms. The story, again, is very much a side thing in this game. But again, what Souls game had like a good story that you'd follow when you're not looking at the lore? Story's pretty whatever. I like the cutscenes. William is just kind of like, he's just kind of there. I feel like, oh, I almost got grabbed. He's like, hello, I'm not Japanese. Take me on your quest to kill yokai. And also the last boss wasn't super amazing either. It was like a pretty huge gimmicky boss. But the bosses before that, like Kelly and Nobunaga, were pretty cool. Oh, and I guess spoilers. I mean, it should have been spoilers from the start. The very last boss, 100 Eyes, was pretty dang cool. So far, what I think about the DLC, I think it'd be a lot more enjoyable for someone who had the base game and they really enjoyed it and they went through like New Game Plus and they wanted more Nioh. Then the DLC would be, you know, perfect for that person. But considering since I beat the game and then I tried to jump into the DLC, I think it made it a lot harder than it should have been. You knew I was there. I think another problem with the game is enemy variety. You practically see like all the enemies after the first few areas of the game. You have like your normal yokai guys. You have your standard human guys. You have these ninja guys, range types. And then you have the different types of yokai. And I think because because of how long this game is, you think there's a lot less enemies than there are. I think there's a good amount of enemies already. It's just because of how long the game is. This game is huge. So much content in it. But a lot of it is just like repetitive missions. It seems like they didn't learn too much either from the base game when playing the DLC. It seems like a lot of the level design in this is also pretty whatever. It's not too amazing, but it's not, you know, it's not like the worst thing. It's just whatevs. Guys at Odachi, eat this. Another problem, there just isn't much to talk about outside of it being like a really great game. Mechanically, this game is freaking amazing. I already said that in my other video. I just wish there was more to it. Like, I want cooler level designs, better graphics, more enemy types. Maybe in the second game, we can make our own character. You know, have a character customized thingy. If there's gonna be a second game, I don't know how they would do a sequel to this, because it is just based on historical, loosely based on historical events. You know, that's Sengoku period kind of thing. Ieyasu doing whatever and winning, uniting Japan, whatnot. Of course, the base game didn't finish it. I'm pretty sure this DLC will finish the actual story, because the base game finishes off William's story. You know, he got his what is it called? His familiar back. I forget the name. He goes back to London and kills the real Kelly, and then it's over. He pretty much just like for the DLC, pretty much just goes back, just because he's like, I'm gonna go back because I like it. Oh man, you're damaged and you're like mid stance. I think it's because a lot of people were saying the Odachi isn't that great. I just really like the moveset of the Odachi and the range it gives you. Oh my gosh, please. No, I hate it when he misses the freaking down stab too. So much damage is lost. My positioning was incorrect. Take this, ninja man. Here, eat some slow. Wow. Yeah. Kick that guy's ass. What? Oh my god, what the heck? There you go. Let's give him a double dose. What? That doesn't explode? Oh, this guy's another special guy. Let's go to high stance. Ow. Oh, what the heck? Is that no lock on? Great. How long does this last for? Oh, there you go. And another problem with the big weapons, you just get counter hit all day. It's no good. You should just super this guy. This. Yaru Janaika. I also couldn't tell you the story of the DLC. I couldn't tell you. I just know it has Yukimura Sanada and Date Masamune in there. I forget the stories of those guys. I played a little bit of Samurai Warriors. That's my extent of like my knowledge of Japanese lores. What is that one? Is it this one? That's not it. I'm sorry. I think the main problem of the endgame for this is that you don't feel that sense of power that you do in like Diablo or something. Like other related loot games. Like you want to feel that power you get when you get armor. When you get like new and improved armor. It's like the best part. But low stance. I barely go into low stance. Low stance is like the one I barely go into. Ow, oh my gosh. It's practically getting one shot. He is tired of my infinite block string. Like, I just have to slowly chip at these guys. Same thing with the bosses, except I'm dying a lot more on the bosses. Because I have to learn patterns at that point. He's just like a normal enemy guy that has just a ton of health. Just super repetitive. Ray. And the guy didn't even care. Yeah, it's just more like this game becoming work. Like it's becoming less fun and more work to get any progress. Oh my gosh, another big guy. This is like the definition of repetitive bullshit. Why, hello there. Thanks for one-shotting me. That's great. That counter hit damage. As you can see, I'm already getting fatigued by playing this. But yeah, I'm gonna just repeat what I've been saying before. It's just post-game is not for me. The base game for Nioh was super awesome. Still would recommend the base game to anyone. But post-game is just a different story. I think once you beat the game, once you beat the last boss, and you hate grind, you just stop playing after that. The game's still awesome, still really cool. I enjoy almost like everything about it. Stories, whatever. Graphics are pretty cool. But gameplay is where this game really shines, and it's freaking awesome. But yeah, that was Nioh. I guess I'll end it off here. There's no reason for me to record more of it. I put in my hours. I think I put in around like 60 hours into this game. And it's freaking awesome. But yeah, this is Nioh. If you're still on the fence, then it's probably not for you, but you know, if you really enjoy these type of games, you probably already have it. So, you know. Wow! This game is cool.